Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of golden era.
Nilgiris, or the Blue Mountains, is one of the most attractive mountain ranges south of India. The ranges actually form the meeting point of the western and eastern Ghats of the Deccan and pinnacle at Doda Beta, meaning the Big Mountain, at 2,670 meters above the sea level. These ranges are situated at the tri-junction of the states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. The landmass of these hills consists of ancient basement rock, and the entire mountainous block was thrust upward about 70 million years ago. The ranges find mention in the epic Mahabharata as the prince among the mountains. Nilgiris has provided safe haven to its inhabitants from the earliest of times, which collectively form the tribes of Todas, Kotas, Irulas, and the ancient and elusive Kurumbas. Amongst these, the elusive Kurumbas, with a population of 8,000, are the smallest in number. In the ancient times, when the Kurumbas used to live in caves and rock shelters, life was hard and unforgiving. During the hot season, the Kurumbas either used to spend their time digging out wild yam or scaling the hills for the hives of the great cliff bee. These were then traded with the plain traders in lieu of salt, grain, chilies and other basic necessities. But modernity has also brought some changes in their lifestyles and living conditions. Now, the majority of them live in small hamlets known as motas or kambais. Their huts are small and made of wattle, mud and thatched green. Not so far away from the village, there is a burial ground, a cremation site. Arjuna and Chandran are here to perform regular puja. Once every year, on the eve of the Hindu New Year, the entire village and the neighboring villages gather around to pay their homage to the departed souls. Some distance away from this, there is a memorial center where water-worn stones, known as dolmens, are laid in an immaculate formation. From time immemorial, the Kurumbas have repeatedly worshipped these rock shelters. Believed to be more than 5,000 years old, these dolmens preserve the remains of their ancestors.
ನೀರಿಸಿಂಹ ಸೀಮೆಲೆ ಕೋಡಿದಿವಿರ ಕೆಪ್ಪಕುರುಂಬಮ್ಮ ಮೊದಲಿ ನೀರು ಎತ್ತಿನ ಮದೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಿಪುಟ್ಯಾರಂಬ ಅರೆಯಲಿದ್ದು ಈ ಸೀಮೆಗೆ ಈ ಬನಸೋಲೆಂಬ ಬನ ಸೋಲೆಗೆ ಅವರ ಊರಲ್ಪ ಸಂಡೆ ಸಸರ ಬುದ್ಧಟ್ಟು ಸೀಮೆನ ಎತ್ತಿಕೊಂಡು ದೇವ್ರದನ್ನ ಅರುಗುರು ಮನೆ ಎತ್ತಿಕೊಂಡು ಎತ್ತಿ ಬಂದು ಸತ್ತಮ ಕಟ್ಟವನ ಬೆತ್ತು ದೇವ್ರದನ್ನ ಒಂದೆರಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆತ್ತು ಅರಣ್ಮನೆ ಮಕ್ಕ ಕಲ್ಲು ಮನೆನ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂದು ಈ ಕಲ್ಲು ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲ ಚಿನ ಅಂದು ಬಂದು ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಅಡ್ಡ ಬುದ್ದು ಧೂಪ ಹಾಕಿ ದೇವ್ರದಿಂದ ಒಳಗನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊರ್ಚಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ ಇಂದು ಬಂದು ಇದನ್ನ ದೇವ್ರದಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀಮೆಲ್ ಮಕ್ಕ ಮಂಚ ಹೊಲ ಮನೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾಗೂ ನಂಗ ದನ ಆಡುದನ ಕೊಯ್ಗು ಎಲ್ಲಾಗೂ ಇದು ಬಂದು ಕುಂಬಳಂಗಾಯಿ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೊಂದಿನ ಮಾಡக்கூடிய ಒಂದು ಎಡೆ.
The village folk are upbeat as Balu, blessed with the sun, holds the naming ceremony. Be it the time of death or life, There is no dearth of enthusiasm among the Kurumbas. The village chief is duty bound and, keeping up with the tradition, names the child as Krishna. The entire celebration culminates into a dance, followed by a feast for everyone. The traditional hierarchy of each village starts down from the village chief called Manyagara. Marudai is the Manyagara of the village. There are 6 other sacred offices in the tribe. Foremost is the priest Mannugara. Also important is another kind of priest called Kanikuru. The Kanigara is the diviner or the soothsayer who makes prophecies. The Devagara, the exorcist, mediates between spirits and men at the occurrence of significant events. The Odigara is the black magician who, by means of mantras, secret herbs and roots, sends disease and death to detested persons. For practicing black magic, the Kurumbas have often been known as the sorcerers of the hills. Marudai, the Manyagara of the village, also performs his duties as Maddugara, whose title literally means the medicine man. Today, Marudai is very selectively choosing his herbs, as the patient is the 1.5-year-old Rama, who is in need for a medicine relieving stomach disorder. Vijaya's marriage has been fixed and preparations in the village are in full swing. The Kurumbas are broadly divided into 2 exogamous non-totemic clans, the Nagara clan and the Belaga clan. There are many ways of fixing a marriage in the Kurumba community. In earlier days, marriage by elopement was very much prevalent in Kurumbas. Nowadays, arranged marriages are most prevalent. A marriage is fixed once the bride's father is given the customary walking stick of the groom's father and 1 rupee 25 paise as a mark of respect. Marriage ceremonies are the simplest in nature. After a brief ritual, the groom merely puts a Mangal Sutra around the bride's neck and seeks blessings from their elders. Thus, Vijaya and Karamadai are accepted as married and are wished by all to live happily ever after. Later in the day, a grand feast is extended to the relations on both sides. The Kurumbas have a massive appetite for spices and chilies. They normally eat more fried food and very few vegetables. The wedding ceremony is finally over and it is time to enjoy and make merry late into the dark night. The Kurumbas usually converse in a dialect which is a strange mix of Tamil and Malayalam. The dialect is commonly known as Badaga. The Kurumba women play a very important role socially as well as economically. In the old days, they used to make cane baskets, vessels, etc. for the men folk to go out and trade. Their traditional crops are Italian and little millet, yams, rye, maize, as well as numerous vegetables and spice plants.
ಮನೇಲಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಗಂಡ ಸೊಲೆಲ್ಲ ಗಾಸು ಜೇನುಗು ಧೂಪ ಹೋದಲ್ಲ ಹೆಂಗ ಮನೇಲಿದ್ದು ಮನೆನಾಗ ಶುದ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇರಿ ಮನೆನೆಲ್ಲ ಬಾಕಿ ಒಂದೈದೊಂದು ಮಕ್ಕಾಗಿಟ್ಟು ಸೊಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಎತ್ತಿ ದೊಡ್ಡದೆ ಹೆಂಗ ಪಡೆದಿದ್ದ ಭತ್ತ ಇನ್ನೇನ ಮಾಡೋ ಮುಡಿದ ಅಂದಟ್ಟದೆ ಆ ಸುತ್ತ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಯ್ಯೋದ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತೋದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಬರೇ ಮನೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ಸುತ್ತ.
Most of the Kurumbas now work as tea plantation laborers. Few lucky villages have adapted to the changing times and boast of their own plantations. It forms the major part of their economic activity and provides them with a steady flow of income. But such is not the case with all. Kanika, a worker at one of the numerous other plantations, reaches the local center to collect her wages. Each worker is paid on every 6th day of the week. However, Kanika today is expecting some advance from her employers. Kani Kurumai, the center in charge, tells her that he will not be able to pay her any advance. Due to the dry weather this season, the yield has been very low. Kanika quietly accepts whatever is due to her. She, however, is thoroughly disappointed by this economic disparity.
ಮೇಲಿಂದ ಅದು ಕೂಲಿಯಪ್ಪರ ಕಷ್ಟ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೆಲೆ ಅಪ್ಪರ ಕಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಅದು ಅಪ್ಪರ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಗೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ ಪಕ್ಕ ಅಂದ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ 3 ಕುಣ ಹಿಡಿದೆ 3 ಕುಣನ ಇಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದಿಲ್ಲ 50 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇದು ಬಿಡೋದು ಕೂಡ ಪ್ರಾವಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಪ್ಪರ ಕಷ್ಟ ಈಗ ಕೀದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿಟ್ಟು ಬಂದು ಈಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಟ್ಟದ್ದು ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಅದೇ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅಪ್ಪರ ಕಷ್ಟ ಕೂಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಈಗ ಅಪ್ಪರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೂಲಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಟ್ಪಾಗೆಲ್ಲ 50 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಇದ್ದ 5 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದ್ದ ಕೂಲಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅನ್ನಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಡೈಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಇಲ್ಲ 2 ದಿನ 3 ದಿನದ ಕೆಲಸ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅಪ್ಪರ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂತೂ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಮುಡಿ ಅಪ್ಪರ ಇದು ಮನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ಟೋದು ಹಣ ಸರ ವಸ್ತು ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಇದು ಕಡಿಯ ಅಪ್ಪರ ಕಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟು ಈಗ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಸಾಕೋದು ಅಪ್ಪರ ಕಷ್ಟದ ಅಪ್ಪರ ಕಷ್ಟ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡೋದು ಮುಡಿ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ದೇಶ ಕಾಯಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ದೇಶ ತಿಂಬೋದು
ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಿತ್ಯ ಗಡ್ಡ ತಿನ್ನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇಲ್ಕೊಂಡು ತೆಂಗ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಡಲಿದ್ದೆ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಡಿಯಾರ ಅದು ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬಂದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅತ್ತ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕಾಲ ಬಂದವು ಬರೋ ಬದುಕಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ಮಂಜು ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮನೆ ಮರು ಇತ್ತೆ ಮನೆ ಮರುಗೆ ಒಂದು ಇದಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಮಾಡಿತಾನೆ ಮಾಡಿತಪ್ಪ ನಿಂಗೆ.
Considering such pleas from the villagers, the government, with the help of NAWA, has developed one such model village named as Banuguri Sholai, which boasts of modern civic amenities. Nowadays, the government agencies and the plantation management have been making efforts to provide the tribes with houses made of brick and mortar and even corrugated iron sheets.
Main job is providing water supply to all publics and providing street light and construction of buildings. Government allotted nearly 30 lakhs for providing water supply, construction of building, then repairs of building.
Other path-breaking initiatives undertaken by the authorities are the few provision stores set up by NAWA and the government, which are entirely run and managed by the Kurumbas. Kujja, a Badagat, has come to Kurumba village to invite them to a festival at the village Kingarai. Even more, The Kurumbas still provide the badagas, kotas and todas with honey, bamboo-based flutes, large drying baskets or assorted smaller baskets and vessels. Traditionally, the Kurumbas serve as musicians to badagas and todas. Raman has sent his band members to perform at the Jaidaya Swami festival. The festival is celebrated to ward off evil spirits, which will bring about the well-being of the natives. For such festivals, the Kurumba's expertise is second to none. They are specially invited to ward off any evil from the village and also to play their melodious music. The music echoes off the hills and mingles the memories of the past and the present together, signifying a new beginning, a beginning towards prosperity. In spite of his wife critically ill, Maruda is holding the panchayat with the village folk. The topic of discussion is the importance of education in the overall development of the tribe. Maruda emphasizes that there is no alternative to education and bringing the school closer to the village might sort out this problem.
நீலகிரியில் இப்போ ஆதிவாசி இப்போ இதாலே குறும்பரா இப்போ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬಂದು ಅಪಾರ ಮೋಸವಾದ ನೆಲೆಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇದ್ದವು ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ಒಂದು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವಸ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ರೋಡ್ ವಸ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ವಸ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀರು ವಸ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಬಂದು ಅಪಾರ ಮೋಸವಾದ ನೆಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇಪ್ಪ ಇದ್ದು ಈಗ ಬಂದು ಹಿಂಗಾಗಿ ಮುಡಿಯಾದ ಒಂದು ಕನಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಪುಟ್ಟಿಂದಾಡೆ ಇದ್ದು ನಾನು ಅದೇ ಇದು ಬಂದು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಕ್ಕ ಪಡಿಯಾದ ಕಾರಣ ಬಂದು ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಹಿಂಗೆ ವಸ್ತಿ ಪಟ್ಟಾದ ಒಂದು ಇದು ತಗವಲು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಹಿಂಗಾಗಿ ಬಂದು
The efforts of the government and other agencies have borne fruit, and the Nilgiris is witnessing a change towards a better life. Now, the valley has started echoing with nursery rhymes. People are taking to education, and graduation honors are being conferred on the Kurumba tribals. The government has taken initiatives to provide better facilities to Kurumbas. They have built modern villages with all the basic amenities. The ingenuity of the tribals and the government efforts working hand in hand has brought the traditional and modern together. One such example denoting the success of this union is the Tribal Health Center at Kotagiri. Aided by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and run by Nilgiris Adivasi Sevak Sangh, this center is a boon to its tribal population.
To a certain extent only they are aware about their health. They try to do their own medication, some native medication like drinking some herbs and things like that, till they get a little serious. And most of their nutrition habits are very poor. They love to eat chilies. What happens is the nutritional deficiencies are there, and if they have any injuries, they don't go to a doctor immediately till the wound becomes infected with pus and things like that, then they come. Of course, our people are there who go, we got our health workers who go to their places, and we have our doctors who visit them, and on and off they give them medication. Because the Ministry of Tribal Affairs are funding us and they are helping us a lot. We get a lot of funds from them. Because of that, we are able to go to the villages, go to the interior places and treat the Kurumbas.
Chandran, like many others, feels the importance of modern health care in addition to their herbal health care system. But for him, modernity does not come at the cost of his tradition and his culture. At home, Chandran's sister Chitra is attaining the status of adulthood. An elaborate function with full traditions is held to celebrate her attaining the age of puberty, which holds a lot of significance for the Kurumba tribe. The girl is confined to a small hut outside the house for 7 days. She is cleansed with water mixed with thandai, tulsi, soap nuts, oil cakes, etc. After the 7th day, the mother ties her necklace to the girl and chants mantras and songs for her future and to ward off evil spirit. Later, the hut is burned down to ashes, denoting the end of childhood and the beginning of a new phase in life. Every beginning has an end, and life comes full circle. The very next day, in the early hours of the morning, Maruda loses his wife to ailing health. A traditional bellow communicates the passing to the fellow tribals. People from all over will respond the following day by paying their last respects to Marudai's wife. It is a moment reflecting the earlier times of the Kurumba's life, permeated with complex ceremonies and rituals that started with birth and reach far beyond death.